Long before stars burned in silence and worlds learned the meaning of fear, existence was held in perfect balance. Above the infinite void rose the celestial dominion, a realm of blinding light forged from pure order. Below, beyond layers of scorched reality, sprawled the abyssal expanse, an endless kingdom of flame, shadow, and ambition. Between these two realms lay creation itself, fragile and trembling, watched over by both heaven and hell with equal obsession. For eons, an unspoken truce endured. Heaven ruled through law, restraint, and divine decree. Hell thrived on chaos, hunger, and the promise of dominion. They despised one another, yet neither dared to strike, for war between them would fracture existence itself. That fragile peace ended the moment the eternal gate shattered. The gate, a colossal construct of celestial metal and infernal stone, had sealed the boundary between realms. Its destruction sent a shockwave through reality, cracking skies, rupturing dimensions, and awakening ancient forces long buried. Angels felt it as agony in their wings. Demons heard it as a call to conquest. From the highest spire of heaven, Archon Seraphel, commander of the heavenly host, gazed upon the sky. His armor shimmered with holy sigils, yet even divine light could not hide the dread in his eyes. "The war has begun," he said. Below, in the burning throne hall of hell, Malzarath the Devourer, Lord of the Abyss, rose from his molten seat. His laughter echoed like thunder across lava seas. At last, Malzarath growled, "Heaven bleeds." Both sides prepared for total war, not over territory, but over the future of existence itself. Middle, the War of Realms. The battlefield was neither heaven nor hell, but a shattered world suspended between dimensions, a dead realm known as Sanctum Null. Its skies churned with storm clouds of ash and radiant fire. Mountains floated like broken teeth, and rivers of energy carved glowing scars across the land. The army of heaven descended first. Millions of angels poured from the sky like falling stars, wings blazing with golden light. Legionnaires wielded spears of pure energy. Seraphim sang hymns that bent reality itself, reinforcing the laws of existence with every note. Towering constructs, known as judicators, marched forward, their eyes blazing with divine judgment. Seraphel raised his blade, light-bearer, and the heavens answered with thunder. "Hold the line," he commanded. "No demon crosses this ground." The earth trembled as portals tore open across the battlefield. From them emerged the army of hell. Demons surged forth in endless waves, horned beasts, armored warlords, living siege engines of flesh and fire. The ground cracked beneath their weight. Above them flew winged horrors, spewing black flame that devoured light itself. At their center marched the elite hell-forged legions, clad in infernal steel etched with screaming runes. Malzarath himself emerged last, towering above all others, his presence warping space around him. "Burn it all," he roared. "Leave nothing unclaimed." The clash was apocalyptic. Angelic lances collided with infernal blades, releasing explosions of energy that erased entire battalions in an instant. The sky became a battlefield of its own as winged warriors tore through one another, feathers and ash raining like black snow. Every strike reshaped the terrain. Every death sent shockwaves across the realm. A judicator crushed a demon fortress beneath its foot, only to be torn apart by a dozen abyssal warbeasts. Seraphim unleashed beams of searing light, disintegrating thousands, until hell unleashed voidcasters, demons capable of unraveling divine energy itself. The war escalated without mercy. As hours turned into eternity, neither side gained ground. Heaven's discipline countered Hell's savagery. Hell's numbers overwhelmed Heaven's precision. The battlefield became a graveyard of gods. Amid the chaos, something ancient stirred beneath Sanctum Null. The turning point, the fallen truth. Deep within the fractured core of the realm lay a forgotten entity, the primordial nexus, a sentient force that predated both heaven and hell. It was the source of balance, imprisoned when the two realms chose dominance over harmony. The destruction of the Eternal Gate had weakened its prison. As blood, divine and infernal, soaked the ground, the nexus awakened. Seraphel felt it first. His blade vibrated violently, its light flickering. This war is wrong, he realized. We were meant to guard creation, not destroy it. At the same moment, Malzarath sensed the same power, but interpreted it differently. Power beyond heaven, he snarled. Beyond hell. The nexus erupted from the earth in a column of blinding energy, tearing the battlefield apart. Angels and demons alike were thrown back as reality twisted around it. The entity spoke not in words, but in truth, forcing both sides to see the consequences of their war. Worlds reduced to dust. Civilizations erased. Time collapsing under endless conflict. For the first time, doubt entered the hearts of immortals. Seraphel lowered his weapon. This ends now, he declared, flying toward Malzarath through storms of fire and light. The Lord of Hell met him with a roar, their clash shaking the realm. Blade met claw, light met darkness. They fought not as armies, but as ideals, order versus chaos, control versus freedom. But neither could prevail. The nexus fed on their conflict, growing stronger with every strike. Realization dawned too late. If we continue, Seraphel shouted, nothing will remain. Malzarath hesitated. Just for a moment. That moment changed everything. Ending. The last choice. The primordial nexus began collapsing reality itself, creating a void that swallowed angels and demons alike. Sanctum Null began to fold inward, threatening to consume heaven, hell, and all creation. There was only one way to stop it. A sacrifice. Seraphel understood instantly. So did Malzarath. If I fall, Malzarath said, his voice low, hell loses its throne. If I fall, Seraphel replied, heaven loses its law. They looked at one another, not as enemies, but as ancient guardians who had failed their duty. Together, they made the impossible choice. Combining divine light and infernal flame, they forged a final seal, channeling their own existence into the nexus. Angels and demons watched in stunned silence as their leaders ascended, becoming living conduits of balance. The explosion of energy that followed lit the cosmos. When the light faded, Sanctum Null was gone. The war was over. Heaven retreated, its armies diminished, forever changed. Hell withdrew into the abyss, leaderless and fractured. The Eternal Gate reformed, not as a wall, but as a reminder. Neither side had won. Creation survived. Eons later, legends would speak of the War of Divine Ruin, a battle fought in blinding 4K clarity across shattered skies and burning worlds. Scholars would debate who was right and who was wrong. But the truth remained carved into existence itself. When heaven and hell choose war, all reality pays the price. And somewhere beyond time, two fallen titans remained bound together, watching, waiting, hoping that if the war ever returned, it would end differently.